Do you ever think to yourself, if only my life circumstance were different, if only I had a different person, if only I didn't have this thing in my life, I would be at peace, my life would be in balance. But gosh, there's just so much. There's just this big thing in my life. There's just my marriage that is struggling right now. There's just this financial stress with my children. There's just something that I really, really want. And I just right now that's stopping me from allowing myself to be really balanced, to really feel good within myself. You ever think that to yourself? Do you ever think that if only just this one thing would change, all of a sudden life would be beautiful and wonderful, and you'd feel good, and you'd finally find the joy, you'd finally feel happy? I'm here to tell you that that is simply something that you are telling yourself, and that truly you have the power to choose. And the power of choice is one of the most powerful things that we have within us, and one of the most powerful things that we have to really, really, truly shift our reality. Because the truth is that nobody chooses their circumstances. Nobody chooses their personalities. Nobody chooses the financial stress, the challenges, the struggles, whatever it may be. And while we do obviously choose our spouse, right, there's also a spiritual element to being married, right? Our souls were destined to be together before we were even born. God chose the two of us to be together, right? Yes, obviously we, but there's still those elements that we are brought together in order to heal. And so it's not about having a better spouse. It's not about having different life circumstances. It's not about being more outgoing, being more introverted, being more whatever it is that you might be thinking. The truth is, in order to live the most beautiful life, in order to feel at peace within yourself, in order to stop feeling so overwhelmed, you have the power and the ability to choose your thoughts, your speech, the words that you say, and the actions that you take, and the way that you react to life. And where that all starts is in the thoughts that you have, right? We all have the ability to choose better thoughts. We all have the ability to choose positive thoughts, right? And you too, if you're watching this and you're saying like, gosh, I'm just wired to be negative. I'm just a realist. I just like, this is just the way my brain's always been. I'm just anxious. I just fall into feeling sad a lot. You too have the ability to choose better thoughts. You have the ability to question the thoughts as they start coming to you. You have the ability to choose to show up in boldness, in bravery, in empowerment. You have the ability to say, I want to take my life. I want to take control over myself. I want to create inner peace. I want to stop feeling so overwhelmed. I want to stop feeling like I am being held hostage by my to-do list. I want to stop feeling like life is too much, like I have so much on my plate, like I'm struggling. I'm managing so much. I'm managing a family, a career, a relationship. You have the ability to say, gosh, no, all of that is truly a reflection of what's going on internally. And I have the choice to transform whatever is going on internally. The truth is that anytime something being presented the way that we want it to be, whether you're struggling in your marriage or you're struggling with your children or you're struggling with your finances, or there's just something really, really big going on in your life, that's all supposed to be a reflection of what's going on internally. So you want the better marriage, right? Show up as the better spouse. You want to stop feeling overwhelmed? Start taking care of yourself. Start giving, start more here. You want better finances? Start stepping into recognizing that God is abundant. The world is abundant. Money is just energy. And it's the energy that we put out. It's very fascinating. I watched this live with a professional last night who speaks about lack and abundance. And what she said was, this was so powerful that like I have to share it with you. And God willing, I hope to find her again so I can share her name and give the proper recognition. What she said was, how do you know you're in lack? Down, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling anxious, when you're just not feeling good. How do you know when you are abundant? When you're feeling joy, when you're feeling gratitude, when you're feeling blessed, when you're able to be present in your life in the moments that matter. And it was such a beautiful thing that she pointed out, is that abundance is not just about money. And even more so, it's like specifically not about, like, the money is not what actually gives you the abundance that you want. What everybody wants that money is going to give you is that feeling of peace inside, that feeling of balance, that feeling of like, gosh, I could be there for my family. So be there for your family, right? Like, you have the same 24 hours a day that every single person has. You have access to the same tools everybody has. You have access to the same choice, the same power of choosing your thoughts, of choosing how you show up in your life, of choosing your feelings. I know that you might be watching and saying like, gosh, I can't control my feelings. They kind of just come at me. What I want to tell you is that yes, you can. Yes, you can. Your feelings start in the thoughts that you have. The thoughts that you have create the feelings that you have. And so if you want to have different feelings, if you want to experience joy and love and connection and meaning and fulfillment, you have to change your thoughts. Change them to thoughts that are going to help you feel joy and help you feel centered and help you feel balanced and help you feel good internally. You have to stop telling yourself that, like, for every mistake you make, that you're a bad person, or that you did so much wrong, or that you're at fault, like, and be embarrassed and shame and guilt. You have to get rid of all of that. Instead, you got to remind yourself of all of the good things that you've done. You have to celebrate all your wins. You have to focus on the gratitude, on all the wonderful blessings that you have in life. And I'm telling all of you have them. If my little 6-year-old son can find like 20 things every night that he's grateful for, so can you. So can you. And what I'm going to tell you is, when you change those thoughts, when you use the power of choice to shift your thoughts, to shift your mindset into an empowering one, into a positive one, into an abundant one, all of the sudden, internally, you start feeling more at peace. When you start to shift from saying, I never have time, I don't have time to do the things I want, I don't have time to do the things I love, I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to feed myself good, healthy food, I don't have time to pray or to feed my soul, I don't have time to fulfill what my soul's purpose is, the career path that I want, or to develop something further. I don't have the time to develop my creativity. When you shift that and you say, no. Every single person walking on this planet has the same 24 hours. How many people are out there crushing it? And when I say crushing it, I don't mean that they have perfect lives. I don't mean that they have perfect success, that they are perfect in any way. But how many people have taken control of their lives? How many people have said, I'm going to take the power of choice and I'm going to choose to create the career path I want. I'm going to choose to create the peaceful family life that I want. I'm going to choose to work on my relationship. I'm going to choose to show up respectfully, lovingly. I'm going to choose to commit to spending time together where it is wholesome and beautiful, and where I'm choosing to not argue. I'm choosing to not get offended by any wrong word. I'm choosing to heal my triggers. I'm choosing to recognize all of the good inside of me. And those thoughts, they create better feelings. And the better feelings, those create better actions, right? And it's all intertwined. It's all the thoughts, right, that also control the actions that you take, right? When you say to yourself, like, gosh, no, it's not just about thinking good and feeling good, and then it's all going to come, because it's not. I will tell you, it will not. You have to take desired action. You have to choose to put in the work. I want to say to you is, like, I know so many times, I mean, just about everyone that I've interacted with, even other professional coaches have said to me, like, gosh, the inner work, it's so hard. It's so difficult. This is where we struggle so much. What I want to tell you is that while it might seem daunting, it might seem scary, it might seem terrifying, it might seem like, gosh, how can I look inside of myself and how can I see who I really am? And how can I work on transforming my inner space? Like, oh my gosh, that's scary. What I want to ask you is, I want to ask you one question. What happens in 20 years if you don't look inside of yourself? What happens if you don't fix what's going on internally to create that inner peace, create that balance, that space, and to create that success that you are yearning for? What happens? How do you feel spiritually? What happens to your physical body if you don't take care of it? What happens with your emotional space if you don't actually transform that? What happens with your mental health? And you don't even have to go 20 years down the line, right? You can think a year from now, right? Right at the beginning of the year, people always create these big goals. And for any of you who have celebrated Rosh Hashanah, it's the beginning of the Jewish New Year. And many people like to use this time to set new goals. And I want to ask you, what's going to happen by the time next Rosh Hashanah comes around if you don't use the power of choice, if you don't choose to transform your thoughts, if you don't choose to transform your feelings and take better action, right? Are you going to still find yourself feeling overwhelmed? Are you still going to feel like life is such a struggle? Are you going to feel like it's just too much and like all the things on your plate are just breaking you down? Or are you going to seize the moment? Are you going to seize every moment of the day? Are you going to like take control? And what I'll tell you is every single leader out there, every single person that you are inspired by, every single person who has made a difference in this world, every single person who is making a difference, who is transforming lives, who is having success, whatever that means to you, every single one of them has chosen to show up every single day, to show up taking action, to feed themselves physically, to feed themselves spiritually, to feed themselves mentally and emotionally, so that life does not feel overwhelming. And I'm not going to say that it never does. I'm not going to say life is going to be perfect. Of course, there are moments of overwhelm. And that's where you take control. That's where you allow yourself to feel those feelings. That's where you allow yourself to heal whatever's going on internally. That's where you say to yourself, like, gosh, this is so overwhelming. Why? Why is it so overwhelming? What do I need to give to myself? How can I look at this? How can I shift my lens to look at this aspect of my life to recognize that this is all from God and therefore it is all good? And not just is it all good, but it's for my very best. It's for my best growth. And so how can I take that and look at that and transform it? How can I transform my personal darkness into the greatest light that I could ever possibly achieve? And that's truly why the darkness is given to us, in order for us to transform it. As Hasidus teaches, as I've learned many times over from a very dear friend and mentor of mine, Nechamadina Zwiebel, she has really, really taught me a tremendous amount on when it comes to my own personal spiritual health, and has really, really shifted my mind personally in this area. And I really want to give her credit for that, because it's just, she's had a tremendous impact on my life for the better. And I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to say, next Rosh Hashanah, this coming January, whatever deadline you have for yourself, whatever goals you want to achieve, whatever is just not working for you right now. If right now, your family life is feeling like it is just sucking the energy out of you, okay, that's a sign, a signal that you need to focus on your self-care. You need to fill your cup up. This is a need. It's a necessity. And I really believe this is a necessity for everybody. There's constantly struggles. There's constantly shifts in your schedule, right? How many times has your schedule changed? How many times has your reality shifted? When it comes to with having children, with having a husband, with having a professional life, with balancing it all, how many times has it shifted? And so this is a necessity for you to focus on your total self-care, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, so that what you want in your family, so you can create the beautiful relationship that you always wanted to have, so that you can be that couple that finishes each other's sentences and just knows each other so well and doesn't get upset over the little grievances that happen, right? So that you can create that professional success, so you feel good inside. And the inner work, my friends, is literally just a tool for you to create that. So you get to choose. Am I going to doing the inner work to shift my reality, to make it beautiful, to live the best life I possibly can, to live like a leader? Am I going to look inside and transform my character so that I can have what I want? Or am I going to choose to just kind of let life ride by, let myself just kind of live and just kind of react to whatever's going on? The choice is in your friends. And I want to remind everybody that I have some spots open for my 6-month mastermind, where we go deep into, where we transform all areas of your internal world, where I help you create inner peace and balance and alignment, where we work forming your relationship, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, so that you can have whatever it is that you truly want for yourself. And so if this is something that you are looking to grow, if you're saying to yourself, gosh, Miriam, by next Rosh Hashanah, by this coming January, I must be a different person. I must have the family life I want. I must have the relationship I want. I must just not willing to keep staying put, staying stuck in where I am, then you can go ahead and book a free call with me. We'll chat and see if we are the right fit for one another, and if I can help you move forward, if I can help you really, really transform whatever is going on for you, inner peace and that balance and feeling of calm and strength and wisdom and connection and meaning and fulfillment and values and whatever it is that you truly want, then go ahead and book a free call, and I will and like I said, on the call, I will see if we're the right fit for one another. Then I will invite you into my program, and we will see, and I will help you on the inside. All right, take care, everybody. Wishing everybody a beautiful day and a blessed Shabbat and a beautiful weekend. Take care, everybody.